Welcome to MegaMart's culinary journey with me, Chef Sarah Mayer. Today, we're going to do lobster etouffee, which comes from New Orleans, or as we call it here in Jamaica, New Orleans, Louisiana. We're also going to do an ackee souffle, and with some fried okra and fried shallots, and it's going to be absolutely divine. Now, for the lobster etouffee, it takes something that we call roux, and roux is basically, it's butter and flour. But you can cook it to different stages. If you look at this one, it's very, very brown. And this is what you want for a lobster etouffee. You want it nice and dark because that really, really influences the flavor of your sauce. If you have a light roux, it just doesn't take this makes it taste really toasty and nutty. Almost, yeah, toasty and nutty. And it's really, really yummy. So for the lobster etouffee, we're going to put a trinity in there, which people from New Orleans call peppers, celery, and onions. That's a trinity. That's a base of the etouffee. And it's going to get the roux. I have some beautiful beef fat that I rendered out. I'm going to use that to cook my vegetables. And then some shrimp and chicken stock that I made myself. If you want to use regular chicken stock, that's fine. But let's get it started. We have our Dutchie getting hot because it does have so much flavor in there. It's going to be very yummy. And we're also going to get our base for our souffle ready now because that has to cool. So let's cut some onions. To start out our etouffee, we're going to start the onions with some garlic, the celery, and then add our peppers on a little later because you don't want them to get too mushy. I'd say maybe like a cup of onions, a cup of each vegetable, equal parts, except for the garlic, obviously. I'd use like maybe 2 tablespoons of garlic. Now for this roux, what you have to do when you cook roux is I advise you to use a non-stick pan if you don't have a lot of experience with it. And it's equal parts butter to flour. I might not be right about that, but that's what I usually do. And you have to cook it over a very, very low flame because it will burn. And if it burns, you have to throw it away. So a very low flame, and you constantly stir it until you get to the color that you want it. For that one, I think I cooked it for about half an hour. Very, very slowly. I can't stress that. Very low flame. Constantly stirring. That's very important. I've been very lucky as a chef, you know, when I worked in the States, to have many different people from throughout the world come through my kitchens. And this one guy, Vinny, who was from New Orleans, and when they had the Hurricane Katrina roll through New Orleans, I actually hired a whole bunch of people from New Orleans because they lost all their homes and their jobs. So he was one of those people that I hired. And he taught me how to make etouffee the right way. Straight from New Orleans. Actually won an award for this etouffee after he taught me how to make it right. Okay, so I have my beef fat. You don't have to use beef fat, I just like it. Good extra flavor. You don't need too much. If you want to use olive oil or butter, that's fine too. We'll get our onions in there. Now, traditionally, you want to cook your etouffee for a few hours. This one, we're going to do the shorter version. But it's still going to taste just as good. And that's why I did my roux ahead of time, because that takes a lot of time. So I'm going to add my celery now, as I said. I'm going to chop up some garlic. And once that is translucent, saute to translucent, then I'm going to add my roux. So, and usually they use like cayenne pepper, but instead of cayenne pepper, I'm going to use what? Scotch bonnet. Because we are in Jamaica and they're so beautiful. How can you not want to use them? Got one more. There we go. Good. That looks good. So while this is cooking away, I'm going to cut up some more onions for the base for my souffle, which is going to be onions, a little bit of garlic, some fresh herbs, some Scotch bonnet, butter and flour, and milk. So that cook away. Now, this is, if you'd watch a previous show, it's basically the same ingredients as a bechamel, but you want to make it thicker. Instead, you want it thicker because it's a souffle. Get this one on. Good. Now, you really don't want to get any color on your onions for this. You just want to make them, cook them until translucent. And then you'll cut up one more onion or half of one. If you ever smell that garlic, onions, and celery, it's amazing how 4 things can really influence the flavor of a dish. Because if you were to make any of these ingredients for this etouffee, it just would not taste the same at all. So I'm adding some butter here. Say about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of butter. That should be good. I'm going to add our onions. Make sure this isn't burning. Looking good. Smells so good. Now I'm going to add my roux. I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of roux. So it's like very stiff. You can actually leave this roux outside. It's not going to go bad. So you can have a batch of it made. You can use it to thicken your oxtail. You can use it to thicken your brown stew chicken. It really adds nice depth to your sauces and this lovely nuttiness. Okay, so that's going to get going. I'm going to chop up some garlic for our bechamel. Okay, so we're going to drop our garlic in here. So that looks lovely. Check our roux. I'm going to add my sweet pepper to this now. You guys are going to go on break. While you're on break, I'm going to continue cooking off my etouffee. I'm probably going to add the stock to this when you're on break. Finish my bechamel or my base for my ackee souffle, and we'll be right back. Bye. Wish you were here to smell it.
Exotic Stone Creations, the largest manufacturer of granite and marble countertops and the largest selection of kitchen cabinetry. Also available are limestone porcelain and travertine tiles. We invite you to visit our showrooms at 284 Spanish Town Road, Kingston 11 and shop number 9, Fairview Shopping Centre, Montego Bay. Exotic Stone Creations for the ultimate expression of timeless beauty.
Welcome back to MegaMart's culinary journey. While you're on your break, I combine my ackee with my bechamel, some egg yolks, and I whip the egg whites. This is what you want. I like to hand whip my egg whites. I just find it turns out better. So we're going to fold those in very evenly, like so, from the inside out. That's really going to make your soufflés puffy and light. It aerates them. And these soufflés are going to cook for about 20 minutes at 375. Ooh, that looks so good. Now I'm going to add some extra ackee in here like this, in the bottom. These cups have been buttered lightly. That looks good. You can see how it's doubled in size already, just from adding the egg whites. There we go. Let's get a little. Look at how light and fluffy that looks already. I'm going to fill it up mostly to the top, like that, and it's going to get really nice and high. I like serving my soufflés in individual portions. So if you have ramekins that are 8 ounces, you can use those, or you can use cups like I'm doing right here, or bowls, anything. So these are going to go in the oven. I'm going to put them on a cookie sheet in case in case we have any drippage. Whoop. Try not to fuss them too much. And once they go in the oven, guys, do not open the oven. 20 minutes. Right. So now that's done. We're going to add to our etouffee. Let's look at it, see how it's going. It's looking good. I actually added a little cognac in here, or brandy, whichever you have. I'm going to add some tomatoes to this. I added a Scotch bonnet already, see? A couple allspice berries. Thyme. Nice amount of thyme. Let's get some tomatoes from over here. Like so, should be enough. We also, while that's cooking, you want to make sure you skim all that froth off the top. That froth is just the scum, all the impurities coming out of the stock and the vegetables. So we'll do that in a second after add our tomatoes. Okay, so I'm going to cut up these tomatoes. Let me get on my pan for my lobster. We're going to sear off the lobsters. Usually you add whatever seafood, you add it straight into the sauce. But I'm going to sear off a half a tail of lobster, a whole bunch of lobsters, and sauce it that way. So I'm going to make sure my pan is nice and hot. And then I'll drop these in there. Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. Yummy. There we go. This is going to be so yummy. I can't wait for you guys to see those soufflés. They're going to be amazing. Okay. So, we got our tomatoes in there. Let's grab our lobsters from the fridge. We're going to season them nicely with some salt and pepper. Like so. Pepper. When I'm searing lobsters, what I try to do is I sear the shell side first so it pops the meat out, and then you can flip it over, and then the meat side gets nice and golden brown. So we get our oil in our pan. I'm going to continue cooking our lobsters, start cooking our lobsters, finish up our sauce. When we come back, we're going to fry off some fried okra and shallots for garnish and taste our yummy etouffee. See you guys soon. Bye. Welcome back to MegaMart's Culinary Journey. So while you were on break, I continued cooking my sauce. I added some more tomatoes to it. I seasoned it up with a little salt and pepper. I started my second batch of lobsters. And as I was telling you, see, you start it with the shell side down, and it really makes the meat pop. So it gets a nice sear. If you look at those right there, those have a beautiful sear on the flesh side. This is just a little trick. Okay, so these are going to continue cooking. And I'm going to get my fried okra and fried shallots started for garnish. It's going to be so good. I love fried shallots even though I hate onions. I know it's weird. Very weird. Okay. There we go. Let's rearrange just a little bit. Switcheroonie. So I'm going to do my shallots first because I'm not going to dip them in the egg wash. And I can just dip them in the flour and have it going. I season my flour with a little salt and pepper. You want to make sure you separate your shallots. Like so. If you want to use a sieve to get off all this flour, that's fine too. Those are frying up nicely. So while that's going now, I'm going to start my okra. Okra is going to get flour, egg, and then flour again. Got my tongs for that. So you have one dry hand and one wet hand. My tongs are going to be my wet hand. So you don't get all soppy with your fingers. Get all cakey. Let's check our shallots. Those still need a little time. Drop them back in here. Toss them up nicely. Now I'm going to get back in there with my fingers. There we go. Let's check our shallots. Those look good. See how they're nice and golden brown? That's what you want. Let me look at my souffle. I cannot open the oven, but I'll just peek at them and they're looking okay. My lobsters are cooking up. I'm going to flip them right as I put these in. Fried okra is very, very southern. And if you wanted to, you could do fried green tomatoes. That would work as well. You know, as a vegetable. Let's get a new pair of tongs out of here. Oh, nice. These are really good if they're grilled as well. Doesn't that look great? Turn this off. Let's taste our etouffee sauce. Now, as I was saying, usually what happens is they drop the seafood in here, the shrimp or the crawfish or the lobster, but I'm searing mine and then I'm going to sauce it after. Let's taste it. I think I'm going to chop up my Scotch bonnet now and add it back to the sauce. That's good. That's very good. I'm very pleased. I wish you guys were here to taste it with me. It's such a treat. Now, as I was saying, I said earlier, usually I cook it for all 3 hours, you know. Oops! I hear my okra doing something funny. Let's flip them. Oh, they look so cute. Try to flip them. Look how golden brown that is. Isn't that cute? I can see our souffles here. They're not ready yet. So we'll chop away at our scotches. Okay, so I'm going to add this Scotch bonnet. Check my okra. And I'm also going to check my souffles. I can see them from here and they look fabulous. I always get so excited whenever I do souffles. Always. Because they're just so pretty. These are good. I have a couple more of these okras I'm going to drop in here. Flour them and drop in the fryer. Get rid of this egg. So, and don't get worried about getting messy when you're frying. Have a little fry station. It's okay. It's fun. It's supposed to get messy. Okay, let's make sure I have my thingies. It's so cute. Look, come. Yummy. They look good, but I'm going to leave them in there just for like 1 more minute, and they're going to be perfect. So while that's cooking, we're going to get our plate together. Pull our lobster out of our shell. Put them on the plate, check our okras, sauce our plate, get ready to go. So to pull them out, you just want to take your hand and lift it out like that way, but that way I'm not going to do that. Just want to lift it out. Lift it out of your shell. So actually use this one for here. You can use that or a pair of tongs is fine too. So just pile these up nicely here. So they're nice and pretty, like so. I'll use this one here, like that. And the actual souffle is going to go on this plate. Now we're going to take this bad boy, put it right here, so get this out of the way. Add our scallions. Actually, now I'm going to add them on top. This sauce here. So, just want to sauce our plate, and we'll tidy that up a little bit. I'm going to grab my souffle out of the oven. Oh, yummy. Scallion goes here. It's very, very rustic. You don't want it to be too fancy, because it's not a fancy dish. It's down-home southern cooking from Louisiana, New Orleans. Sauce these nicely for anybody who wants any.